Welcome to our gardening tutorial, where today's topic is all about pruning tomato plants. Pruning is a vital part of caring for your tomato plants, as it helps in managing their growth, encouraging healthy fruit production, and preventing disease. In this video, we'll guide you through the basics of pruning, including why it's important, when and how to do it effectively, and the different methods suited for various types of tomato plants. Understanding the basics of tomato plant anatomy and the reasons behind pruning is essential for any gardener. Tomato plants, particularly indeterminate varieties, are known for their vigorous growth. Without pruning, these plants can become large and unwieldy, leading to a tangle of stems and leaves. This can result in a plant that focuses more on growing foliage than on producing fruit. Moreover, dense foliage can restrict airflow around the plant, creating a humid environment that is conducive to diseases like blight and fungal infections. Pruning helps to direct the plant's energy towards producing larger, healthier fruits and ensures that they receive adequate sunlight and air circulation. By removing certain parts of the plant, such as the non-fruiting branches or suckers, you encourage the plant to focus its resources on developing the fruits that have already set. This practice not only improves the size and quality of the tomatoes, but can also lead to an earlier harvest. Additionally, pruning makes it easier to stake and support your tomato plants. It allows for better control over the plant's shape and size, making it more manageable, especially in smaller gardens or when growing in containers. It also simplifies other maintenance tasks like watering and pest control, as well-structured plants are easier to manage and inspect. When it comes to pruning tomato plants, timing is key. The best time to start pruning is when the plant is about 12 to 18 inches tall and has several leaf branches. At this stage, the plant is usually strong enough to withstand pruning and will respond well by directing its energy to the remaining stems and fruit. For most gardeners, this usually means beginning the pruning process a few weeks after planting, depending on the growth rate of your tomatoes. The first step in pruning is to identify the suckers that need to be removed. Suckers are small shoots or stems that grow in the crotch joint of two branches. They typically sprout from the main stem, just above a leaf node. While they start small, suckers can grow into full-sized branches, adding to the plant's overall foliage, but not contributing significantly to fruit production. Removing these suckers helps to simplify the plant's structure and directs more energy to fruiting branches. When pruning suckers, it's important to do so when they are small, ideally less than 2 to 3 inches long. They can be pinched off with your fingers or cut with a pair of clean, sharp scissors or pruning shears. If the sucker is too large, it's better to leave it, as removing large branches can stress the plant and create open wounds that are vulnerable to disease. In addition to removing suckers, it's also a good practice to prune the lower leaves of the tomato plant. These leaves are the ones closest to the ground and are more likely to develop fungus or other diseases due to their proximity to the soil. Removing these lower leaves improves air circulation at the base of the plant and reduces the likelihood of soil-borne diseases splashing up onto the foliage. While pruning, it's also beneficial to thin out some of the leaves in the upper part of the plant to allow sunlight to penetrate through the canopy, which can aid in ripening the fruit. However, be cautious not to overprune, as leaves are necessary for photosynthesis and overall plant health. Overall, the goal of pruning tomato plants is to create a balance between the foliage and fruit, ensuring the plant remains healthy and productive. With regular and careful pruning, gardeners can enhance both the quality and quantity of their tomato harvest. In the world of tomato pruning, timing and technique are key to achieving the best results. The best time to start pruning your tomato plants is once they have established a strong root system and have grown to about 12 to 18 inches tall. This is usually a few weeks after planting, when you can clearly identify the main stem and the suckers. Suckers are small shoots or stems that grow out from the joint between the main stem and a branch. If left unpruned, these suckers will develop into full-sized branches, making the plant bushier and potentially reducing the overall fruit quality and size. To prune, carefully pinch or snip these suckers off, ideally when they are about 3 to 4 inches long. Doing this early on avoids stress to the plant and prevents large wounds that can become susceptible to disease. When pruning, it's important to focus on the lower leaves of the plant as well. These leaves are the first to develop fungal diseases and can also attract pests. Remove the leaves closest to the ground to prevent soil-borne diseases from splashing up onto the foliage during watering. This also improves air circulation around the base of the plant, further reducing the risk of disease. Be cautious not to overprune, as the leaves are essential for photosynthesis and help shade the fruit from the sun, preventing sun scald. A good rule of thumb is to never remove more than a third of the plant's total foliage at one time. Always use clean, sharp pruning shears or scissors to make clean cuts, which heal faster and are less likely to invite disease. As the season progresses and your tomato plants grow taller, continue to prune the suckers and any leaves that show signs of yellowing or disease. Regular pruning not only keeps the plant healthy, but also makes it easier to harvest the tomatoes as they ripen. As your tomato plants mature and the growing season progresses, it's important to maintain a consistent pruning routine. This ongoing care helps ensure the health of the plant and the quality of the fruit. During the mid to late growing season, pay particular attention to any new suckers that develop and remove them promptly. It's also a good time to start thinning out some of the leaves to allow more sunlight to reach the ripening fruits. However, be cautious not to expose the fruits too much, as direct, intense sunlight can lead to sun scald, especially in hotter climates. In addition to regular sucker removal, you may want to prune some of the top growth of indeterminate tomato varieties. This can help refocus the plant's energy on ripening existing fruits, rather than continuing to grow taller and produce more foliage. This is especially beneficial towards the end of the growing season, as it encourages the plant to concentrate on developing and ripening the remaining fruits, rather than expending energy on new growth. Another aspect of pruning that becomes important as the season advances is the removal of any diseased or damaged leaves and stems. This not only helps improve air circulation, but also reduces the spread of diseases. Tomatoes can be susceptible to various fungal diseases and blights, so keeping the plant tidy and well pruned is key to managing these issues. For determinate tomato varieties, pruning needs are generally less. Since these plants have a more compact growth habit and stop growing once they set a certain number of fruits, they require minimal pruning compared to indeterminate types. For determinate tomatoes, focus mainly on removing the lower leaves to improve air circulation and reduce disease risks. As the growing season draws to a close, consider topping your indeterminate tomato plants. This involves cutting off the top of the main stem, which encourages the plant to stop producing new flowers and fruits and instead directs its energy into ripening the existing fruits. This is particularly useful if you have a lot of green tomatoes and the first frost is approaching. After the pruning process, caring for your tomato plants is vital to maximize the benefits of your efforts. Proper care following pruning includes adequate watering, fertilization, and ongoing monitoring for pests and diseases. Watering your tomato plants correctly is crucial, especially after pruning. The plants may need extra water to recover from the stress of pruning. However, it's important to avoid overwatering, as this can lead to root rot and other issues. Water the plants deeply and less frequently to encourage deep root growth. The best practice is to water the soil, not the leaves, to reduce the risk of fungal diseases. Be sure not to overwater, as that can cause problems as well, such as pest or gnat infestation. Fertilization plays a significant role in the health and productivity of tomato plants. After pruning, providing your plants with the right nutrients can help them recover and continue to produce high-quality fruit. Use a balanced, slow-release fertilizer that is suitable for tomatoes, and follow the manufacturer's instructions for application rates and frequency. Regularly, monitoring your tomato plants for pests and diseases is also important. Check for common tomato pests like aphids, spider mites, and hornworms, and treat them promptly if found. Similarly, be on the lookout for signs of diseases like tomato blight or leaf spot. Early detection and treatment can prevent these issues from becoming major problems. As the growing season progresses, continue to care for your tomato plants by maintaining consistent watering and fertilization practices and monitoring for any health issues. This ongoing care is essential to ensure that your plants remain healthy and productive throughout the season. And remember that with the right techniques and consistent care, you can encourage healthier growth and a more abundant harvest from your tomato plants. Embrace these pruning practices and watch as your garden rewards you with a plentiful supply of delicious tomatoes ripe for your favorite summer dishes.